Hi guys, my name is Trevor, teaching Bemeism, the true journey into self-transformation. I want to share a little experience that I had. I went and saw Sadhguru, somebody that I kind of listen to every now and again because I believe he is one of the best on the planet of understanding the awakening and pure transformation on who he is as a being. Quite interesting. I went there, and the interesting thing that I found about it is I had to get 3 trains. And so therefore, when I got onto the second train, people got onto the platform, they adjusted themselves on the train, and all of a sudden this woman that was staring at me said to me, "You're Trevor off of YouTube, aren't you?" And in that moment, I felt like getting off the train and saying to myself, I don't need to go and see Sadhguru, because that to me was worth it. That was worth the journey. That was worth the £200 that I paid to go and see Sadhguru, which was something that I never thought I would do. But I decided to go anyway because I wanted to go and see what was the best presenting. Great man, unbelievable man, tells a lot of stories, got an incredible sense of humour, loves telling jokes. But of course the jokes are not just your normal jokes, they are jokes that are quite enlightening and they tell a story. So I thought I would come away from the darkness of all the imagery that I've been doing because people turn around and say, yeah, all your images are so dark, it all looks so dark. But there was a real reason behind that, and that was to be able to get people to understand that I'd been in that darkness and I know what that darkness feels like, and it's an incredible journey. But look at Sadhguru. Sadhguru has also been through the same transformation. Sadhguru, one moment, was a businessman doing what he was doing. He said he felt quite happy in everything that he did. And then he had the transformation. Something happened to him that basically he didn't know who was him and who was they. He got completely confused with who was the meaning of life and what did it actually mean. Now Sadhguru means the uneducated guru. What is a guru? Guru means darkness dispeller. So a guru is a dispeller of darkness, it is a dispeller of ignorance of who we are as beings. And what I loved about Sadhguru is it's be me. It's body, mind, energy. He talks on body, mind, energy, but he hasn't connected the dots to turn around and say, okay, the meaning and purpose to life is for me to be me, as it is for you to be you. We've grown up in a world, a society, a program that nobody's ever questioned. We just fitted in. A lot of the people that are awakening up now are not fitting in. There's nothing to fit into. And I've recognized that a lot of people, especially my subscribers that come through, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. They don't know what is their mission and purpose. I got a strange feeling though. And I think that feeling is something that is incredibly new because Bemeism is incredibly new. It's a Western approach. It's being able to understand your life in a city or living in the countryside or looking after 4 children that have all got chicken pox or the measles or the flu. How do we cope in a world of trying to understand what is spirituality in a world that is just creating chaos? Bemeism, for me, was the transformation. It was my religion. And this religion was the only religion that got me to understand who I was, the way that I was thinking, and the way that I was feeling. And through this process of having these incredible questions of who am I, what am I here to do, know thyself became an incredible journey for me because you've got to ask yourself, do you know yourself? This is the mystery to life. And that was a mystery that I didn't actually want to have. I wanted to know about my life. I wanted to understand that my life was something. When I was looking at life and I thought, 75% of it seemed unhappy. I couldn't make sense of it. It seemed like there was more disaster than there was happiness. So we all try to be happy, don't we? But there was something there that I couldn't fulfill. Something there just didn't make sense. And it was only in that moment of desperation, and I'm sure Sadhguru went through the same, I'm sure Eckhart Tolle went through exactly the same, Donald Walsh all went through exactly the same. They had a transformation. So the world has got you to believe that there is no such thing as transformation. We're human and that's it. I'm not happy with that. I've never been happy with the word human. I just didn't know it. But as a process of transformation, the true journey in, which I call the TJI journey, in actual fact, here's the strange thing about that. TJI is my initials. And when I started channeling Spirit, when they was helping me to understand this message, they kept saying to me, it's in your name. Well, I was looking at my name and saying, Trevor, how's that spiritual? How does that make sense? Trevor Ilesley. I thought, no, none of this is making sense to me. How can it be in my name? Now, this went on for many, many years. But after listening to Sadhguru and then listening to my own inner self, it makes sense. Sadhguru only talks about the journey inward. This is the only journey worth embarking on because you're already on it. It's just that you just don't know it. So Bemeism is all about discovering who you are, what your potential is, and to understand that you don't have to be this emotional being. You don't have to drive yourself completely crazy, and you don't have to put up with relationships that actually serve you no purpose. But the fear of all of this is people fear being lonely. People have this programming that's locked into their mind that they don't want to die being lonely. And so therefore, when we look at the awakening process, or even when we look at spirituality, spirituality is a very personal business. It's for you. And so therefore, in that moment, there is many senses of being lonely. You definitely feel that you don't fit in. Nothing absolutely makes sense to you at all. You have become separated from the world. Sadhguru talks very much about yoga, which of course is ancient and comes from the yogi Adiyogi. And so therefore, this was the guy that created yoga. Now, when we look at what does yoga represent, it represents a union. It represents a union between your body, mind, and your energy, and the cosmic energy, the creator of all things. When we talk about understanding what is spirituality, we have to go beyond the five senses. We have to look at what it is that we've been so used to. Using the five senses, of course, is survival tactics. It teaches us about life, what to like and what not to like, and what feels right and what doesn't feel right. But let's suppose for one moment that your feelings were wrong. Let's say for one moment that even your thoughts was all wrong. Maybe trying to describe something was the wrong terminology. And that is what happened to me in my awakening. In that moment of darkness, that's why the pictures that I've put out there are very much dark, because it's something that represents my journey on understanding who I have become. What I used to be and who I am now is completely two different beings. Now, that wasn't because of listening to Sadhguru or Eckhart Tolle or Donald Walsh or Abraham Hicks. They all have their own special uniqueness of what they bring to the planet. I bring Bemeism. Now, to me, it's raw, it's real, and it works. And it doesn't take you to the place where it's all woo-woo. This is real. This is my journey. So let's have a look at realization. What does realization mean? You know, there's a part in the process of realization. And realization is when you know who you are. Realization is when you capture yourself for the very first time and really analyze it and really look at it. And basically look at yourself and say, what are you doing? Why are you putting yourself through this? Why do you think in a certain way? Why do you feel in a certain way? Why has this journey been so desperate? Why has it been so difficult? I never believed in God. I've never believed in spirituality. I didn't have any of them things. But in my moment of desperation, I had nowhere else to turn to. I had to go towards God. I had no alternative. I knew there was no one there that could possibly help me of what I was going through. Now, is there a God? Is there an energy? I can say yes, there is. Now, whether or not it's the God of God or whoever it is or whatever it is, all I know is this. There was a strange energy beyond the 5 sense. And that is when I discovered intelligent communication or intelligent consciousness, awakening body-mind energy. That was the moment that I had my awakening and discovered there was something completely different to the word human being and spirituality. Spirituality still talks very much on ancient religions or ancient ideas that someone started many, many years ago. And of course, we all followed. When you look at Sadhguru, he brings in the Indian essence. He looks like a guru. He has the long beard, he has the turban, and he wears the right clothes, and he talks about yoga. It makes sense. So the imagery of Sadhguru being a guru and the imagery of what I look like, and this is why today I've decided to show you a different aspect of who I am, which of course is nice and bright. I haven't played with the dark imagery. I've gone in the brightness of who I am. So, you know, some people used to say to me, Trev, why are you so serious? Why don't you show the funny side to who you are? And I said, well, because this isn't funny. What I do and what I teach and what I awaken in beings that are going through such tragedy, such delusional thoughts of who they are and what their life has all been about. I said, I deal with people that are on the edge of insanity. I'm not sure if they're even going to get through. I can't begin to show this funny side of me, even though, incredibly, I am really funny and I do really enjoy life because I enjoy me. So that's the true journey in. It's when you catch yourself and you understand that the way that you talk to yourself isn't good enough. So the ICB me, intelligent consciousness or communication, awakening body-mind energy, was the message that was given to me from Spirit. Now, at first, it took me some time to understand that. So going beyond the 5 senses, there was something there that is incredible. And it's taken me many, many years to see whether or not this stuff works. Could I heal myself? Could I heal my mind? Could I heal my emotion? Not through reading spiritual scriptures, but just trying to get to understand me in the journey of what I was having. Far too many of us are looking for enlightenment. And I say to people that come through to me, I say, don't bother with enlightenment until you truly know who you are. Once you truly know who you are, then you will discover enlightenment. You have to try to work out what is the mystery of your journey. What does it mean? Why have you gone through these things that you can't seem to understand? Now that is a life that is lived unconsciously and it is a mystery. I don't want it to be a mystery. So be me is a 3-letter word. Letter B, the M and the E. That represents my body, my mind, and my energy. Now the energy represents the spirit of me, because without energy, nothing is happening, nothing is functioning, and I'm just going to sit here and nothing moves. Everything on this planet has energy. But no one has got into the real reason of what is energy. Now, we've heard it on a scientific value, we've heard it very much on religious values, but I want to teach you to be able to live your life normally, naturally, without going over the edge or without going over the top. So the be me being is very important. I have a body, I have a mind, and I have energy, or I have emotions, I have experienced. Sadhguru talks very much about experience. He's never read spiritual scriptures, but when he had the awakening, he knew everything that he needed to know, and that was about himself and the planet that he was connecting with, or the energy of the planet that he was connecting with. This is what it means to become one with. You become one with the divine aspect, or the creator aspect of this planet. That's what you fall in love with. So, a guru is a signpost. Now, I bring a new signpost. In actual fact, I don't even think Sadhguru's got one. When I sat there with Sadhguru, I opened up my pad, my writing pad, took out my pen, and I was there for 5 hours, hoping to write down some incredible stuff. I kind of love writing. As I teach about writing, intuitive writing, connecting to yourself is the only doorway in. So I've got my pen and my pad ready to take all this information in. I wrote 3 lines and I closed the book. It was in that moment that Sadhguru couldn't teach me anything about what I'd already known. And it was from that moment that I came away from Sadhguru, not understanding Sadhguru, but understanding me within myself. I had 2 choices when I went to Sadhguru: give it up or carry on. I thought I would be at that point where it's like, wow, I'm in the presence of a master. He's too good. He's brilliant at what he does. Who am I? A nobody. A nothing. I had that choice of being able to give it up. But I came out of Sadhguru and I realized that I had something he hadn't got. I have my way. Sadhguru has his way. The be me is, it's up for interpretation. And this is what I love about Bemeism, and I love the way that this came into my journey, because I'm not intelligent. I don't read books. I got kicked out of school for not reading and writing. Fair comment. That's the way I lived my life. I didn't want to be influenced by other people. I wanted me to master my own life, my own thoughts, my own energy about everything. And that was the greatest gift. And in that, I found a lot of potential. Now, in the darkness place, whether it's depression or the dark night of the soul, it is a very tragic place. It is an incredible place. It is the worst nightmare of your life. But when we look at it, as I have done, and I tried to understand it, what was actually going on, it was an experience. It's just that it was a new experience that I couldn't seem to work out logically what was happening. So it took me time to unravel and work with and understand. Because if I go back to the thoughts of when I shouted out to God, please help me out down here, I'm in trouble. It takes time for that message to be able to show up in your experience. And so therefore, you have to be very aware of the thought that you've put out to the experience that's coming. For instance, I've always wanted to speak about Bemeism. I want to put Bemeism out. I want to show people that Bemeism really is your true religion, because it's about knowing thyself. Ultimately, it's about loving thyself, but then ultimately I want to go beyond that, because ultimately it's about naturally being you. No one's actually taught us to naturally be me, or to naturally be you. And that was the thing for me. That was the thing that really captured me, that why did God leave me out? Why does it seem like, these very important people or teachers or incredible people that have incredible journeys, what was so boring about mine then? And this is the very thing. I knew that I couldn't change anything on the outside of my life, but one thing I could change was the way that I thought about my life, and the way that I felt about my life, and the players that played a part in my life. Now that is Bemeism. That is when you know that you have to start seeing the speciality of all the people in your life and the reasons why. My questions always start with a why. Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? I wanted answers for that. Maybe I was lucky. In some sense, I don't always think I was, because the journey was so hard. But now as I get through, maybe I'm lucky now to be able to share that energy within you. To be able to make sense to you that you haven't been left out. That you don't have to listen to this spirituality that seems so hard to understand. Whereas my system of TJI, True Journey In, or teaching Journey In, which is what I teach. I teach the journey in, so that you can understand, what is the journey in? What does it actually mean? When you get to that place of being me, your body, your mind, and your energy, that's your signpost. I show you a new signpost. I am the way, because I've been there. So when you look at the signpost to life, your mind is over there doing something, your body is over there doing something, your energy is pulling you over there, and your emotions are telling you something else. North, south, east, and west. Body, mind, energy, and emotions are all over the place. It's not contained. So therefore, the mind is doing something, the emotions are doing something, the experience is bringing something, and of course, the body feels the pain. Healing comes when we can get that signpost to harmonize itself. My body and my mind and my energy, my experience and my emotions are working with me. They're working for me. That is the complete Bemeism of understanding the trinity of who you are. Once you get that bit right, which is what I teach the Be Me way, and trust me, it is a big program that I can't really put out on YouTube, because I would be spending at least 2 weeks on just one YouTube. But the Be Me being is the evolved being. It is a being that is escaped and found freedom from the world that it once knew. Now that's hard. That's very difficult to understand. And of course, there was some rough seas before you get into that calmness, that beautiful idea of who you are. So when you look at your life is in conflict. No, your life isn't in conflict. Your mind is in conflict. Your energy is in conflict. Your body is in conflict. And so therefore, your world and your inner self is totally in conflict, which is what I still call ICB-me. In conflict, body, mind, energy is in conflict. Being in control, body, mind, energy, is what Bemeism is all about. Once you can be in control, the body, the mind, and the energy, it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. That's what you're seeking. Seeking just a feeling that feels natural, comfortable, and it feels right. Once you can understand that, and listen to the words that I say to you, and remind yourself that you are a Be Me being, it makes sense, because it is real. And each and every one of you, never got left out when it comes to intelligence or consciousness or a body and mind and energy. You all have that ingredient, same as I have that ingredient. I just bring to you the signpost to let you know that you have all the ingredients and you didn't get left out. So whilst Sadhguru is teaching you about yoga, which is the most important thing that he brings to the table, it's still an ancient thing that he's bringing along. He gives you something to work with. He gives you something to do. I bring Bemeism. And again, what I love about this is I'm not the image of a guru, but I am a guru. I can speak about things in many, many different levels, beyond the 5 sense of what we've been so used to. So on that note, if you're interested in having a Skype meeting with me, I shall leave the details at the end of this video so you can come through. I'll send you all the details and let's make that happen. So if you feel that you're going through life and you feel that there is this massive transformation within yourself, then Bemeism has got to be for you if you've tried everything else. So that is the importance of Bemeism. That is the importance of this message. And I would love to create a world of beamy beings that are awakened, healed, loving, compassionate, with gifts of healing that is beyond anything you could ever imagine. And you know what? You all have it so naturally. My name is Trevor. See you on the other side.